welcome to the latest edition of the EZNZ podcast. We're up to week number 9.
Week number 9.
Super exciting, and to celebrate a new podcast, not really, but just as an excuse, and it rolls off the tongue well. We're in a new place. A super new, exciting place.
Got some really snazzy things around
Really
us.
snazzy things. Stuff I thoroughly enjoy. Beautiful Xboxes. Felix from Gears of War. And some Master Chief stuff as well. And of course Hannah.
And me
here
too. I'm here. I'm always here.
Yeah, it's good. We're very lucky to get to work in environments like this. And it kind of fits the theme of a good part of our podcast today. So as per normal, we've got a lot to talk about. And we're going to be talking about modern PCs today.
Yep.
We realise we talk about a lot of niche stuff, so it's good to go into something that's going to be super important on the sales floor.
We're expanding the net out there a little bit.
We are, but then we also need to talk about State of Decay 2.
Yeah, that came out last week. I've played it, guys.
Hannah's played it.
I've been so excited. So I finally, I've decided that I'm going to give gaming a go. We all know I'm a rage quitter.
Do you want to tell them what you have to game on? Because I'm thoroughly jealous.
I have just got a Project Scorpio edition of the Xbox One X.
It's amazing.
So I'm very excited. When we were in Shanghai, I did win an awesome Elite controller. There's a story behind that, and when the controller arrives, I'll tell the full story.
We'll show it off.
But very excited. The controller itself is not here yet, but I decided with my super awesome Elite controller, I needed a super awesome console to go with it.
Yeah.
So I just...
You lucked out. Like, Scorpio, pretty much everything sold out before it actually released.
Yeah.
Except there was a little bit of a logistical error, so...
Yeah, and I heard that there was 5 left in the country.
Yeah.
And then...
now there's 3.
Now there's only 3. So if you want a Project Scorpio edition, get in there. It's beautiful. I don't regret it for a second.
No, I'm jealous. I'm thoroughly jealous.
I very much debated. I think that I'm a prime user case for an Xbox One S.
Yeah.
I am probably primarily going to use it for watching Netflix, catching up on Shortland Street on TVNZ On Demand, listening to Spotify while I'm cleaning my room. But through the magic that is Game Pass, I can download content and games and stuff and not feel bad about the amount of money I'm spending on it. So once again, prime user case for Game Pass as well. Like, I'm not a serious gamer, but with such a cheap alternative to purchasing games, I'm able to kind of fully invest in giving stuff a go. So I'm really excited, and I'll talk about my experience with State of Decay 2 a little bit later in the podcast.
Yes, and we'll figure out a time where we can do some co-op too.
Yeah,
just putting it out there on video, so we can make sure it happens.
You might be over-promising.
Am I over-promising? No, we'll make it happen.
We'll make it happen.
You guys help me
already.
Co-op with Hannah.
Hashtag help us help Hannah. Coming back for another round. This is going to be entertaining. I can sense it already.
Absolutely.
What else are we talking about? We're talking about modern PCs, we're talking about State of Decay 2, and we're talking about the Xbox Adaptive Controller.
Absolutely. If you guys don't know what that is okay, because we're going to tell you all about it.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a sweet video to kind of really express its value. But of course, we will start off with Question of the Week. This week is, what aspect of technology could you not live without?
What aspect of technology could I not live without?
I think it's quite a broad question, and of course we always extend this question out to you guys, and the reason I'm kind of thought about this is because it is super broad, right? Yeah. And I think our answers are going to be very different. Thought about this on the train on my way to work this morning. And it's just what came to what I wanted to talk about today, really. That's
fair. This is a really hard question. Like, it is genuinely a hard question, right? Because technology is just like, especially, I don't even think it's just us because we work in IT either. It just permeates through, wanted to use a great word, permeates through your whole life now. So like, everything you do, most of it has some form of technology in there. So, like, I might be cheating a little bit.
Okay, if you steal my answer.
I'm not going to steal your answer.
Because we talked about this morning, like, we were getting ready and I guess
mine is almost got elements of your answer in, but it won't be stealing.
Alright.
I'm just going to go really simply with the internet. And
ooh, nice.
It's not necessarily, of course, that like, my world will fall apart and I'll be miserable if I didn't have it in my life.
Y2K.
Y2K. but the internet, like, when I go home, and everyone's going to have similar experiences, I just hop on the internet. I've got a lot of hobbies. I like to paint little models.
Yep.
And do stuff like that, paint and make. Very nerdy, like Gundam and you know, everything. That's where I get to be a creative, is along those lines. That's where I'm a creative. And when I'm at home, also the NFL is another big thing. Sorry, I'll just chuck that in. So those are my, like, what I like to do in my spare time, right?
Those are quite contrasting.
Quite
things.
contrasting, right?
Like super contrasting
I'm a jock
things.
and I'm a nerd. Let's look. I don't look like a jock though. I'd be happy if I did.
Better together.
But yeah, so when I'm home, I'm either watching NFL like videos on YouTube. The NFL has a great YouTube channel called NFL Films, where you can like look back at football live, so some of the great players. I love soaking up that stuff, you know, top 10 moments in NFL history, that type of thing.
And I can tell, because obviously to upload this podcast, we have a YouTube channel, which is a we share between us, and Fletcher's clearly just like left that one on his personal one. And anytime I go to our YouTube page, it just has NFL as the recommended. That's all.
It's so funny.
And I'm just like, oh, Fletcher.
But it's funny as well, because like that's what auto logs in on my my PC, my work PC, and my wife Steph uses our personal PC to watch YouTube. And on that one, my YouTube channel,
Korean dramas,
Korean dramas and Asian food.
Okay,
it's just
nice.
All my YouTube is made up of on our personal device. So I love doing that. But you know, there's forums you go on, like forums that are dedicated to models and stuff, and I spend a lot of time browsing that as well. And it's cool to, you know, it is cool to connect with other people through the internet and share ideas and show off cool stuff and kind of give each other inspiration on what the next project's going to be, or the next design. I love that, and that's why I browse it a lot. I'm a bit of a lurker, if you guys know what that means. I don't always
participate in conversation,
but I love reading through it and like thinking, damn, I'm going to try that.
Like that meme where like Michael Jackson sitting there in his stream video eating his popcorn, like just put your face onto Michael Jackson.
I'm 100% a lurker. Like there's one forum site I'll actually add some value to, but the rest I'm definitely taking everyone else's ideas and putting my own twist on. So
best practice.
Yeah, you know, that's my what I'd struggle to live without, I'd say.
Nice.
Because I'm just so used to it.
I really like that, and I think my answer is quite similar. And I think just the communication aspect of technology and how that's developed. I mean, we obviously talked in the week before last podcast, about when we fell in love with Microsoft as a brand, and when I kind of rethought it, it was where I fell in love with using technology, and I didn't realize at the time that was like a Microsoft thing, but things like MSN Messenger, Windows Movie Maker, Media Player, I left in the comments when I was talking to Monique about it, but like just being able to be social online. As a teenager, like I was a super weird, super cool emo kid, so definitely like there was a website called Pure Volume, which was I guess kind of like Spotify.
I think I've heard of
that. Where like just heaps of like indie music and stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to chuck
you
you under the bus, but I had some very emo friends who were all over that stuff.
Yeah. I had my side project and everything. I was deep in there, but I think like just that aspect of, you know, like you on your modelling forums and stuff, being able models, like
yeah, see, it's real weird.
There.
A lot of the time when I talk about it, I have to be very specific, because sometimes I've brought it up in all things job interviews, and people give me that weird look if I say modelling, because that's what I say.
Just like,
but it's like, they're like, really, you're a model? Like you? It's like, yeah, I get it, guys. Amazing. I get it. Like, I'm
just like, just you like posing as many times as you can. Like, magic.
Getting my duck face on.
Yeah. Can you just give a pose for the camera? Oh, perfect.
So good. Zoolander all over again.
But yeah, just having that, I guess, that place to find things in common. with people, and you know, like there's so many people in this world who do have like so many internet friends. We're going to watch a video later on talking about the adaptive controller and how like Xbox just brings people together, and that online community of that as well. So there's that aspect of it, and then obviously I don't live at home anymore. Like I'm from Wellington. I moved to Auckland for my job, and without technology, like I couldn't have moved here, to be fair. Like I would miss my family and my friends way too much.
Need the old telephone.
Telephone. Like of course, but like that's another aspect of technology, right? Like,
it is. That's totally involved.
But very, very recently, Raywin's got on Facebook. Good stuff.
I've been hearing about it. It's been great.
But now we've kind of bought more of the medium of like that social interaction between me and my mum. And we video call each other a lot more than we used to as well. So like mum got a new haircut the other day, so I instantly like mum had the same haircut like my entire life. Like that, sorry mum. But like I just remember my mum with like a certain haircut, and she like texted me saying that like it was shorter on one side, and I was like, Raywin, what are you talking about? I was like, video call me right now, like I've got to see this. So you know, like that kind of interaction with technology, whereas like I would have had to wait until the next time I saw her when her haircut would have grown out a little bit. You know, and just like general like social media and stuff, like I drop in conversation like my Instagram all the bloody time. But I'm so invested in, like, I love photos as a form of social media. And sharing things like a picture is 1,000 words, and all of that kind of thing. So I think, the aspect of technology is the communication, the interaction, and like I know that people say that it's kind of ruining our social skills and all of that kind of stuff. But I also think,
or is it making them better, just in a different way to what we used to?
Exactly. That's pretty much exactly what I was going to say.
Sorry, just stole the thunder.
That's fine. Reading my mind. But so I think that those are the aspects of technology that I really couldn't live without in my life.
Awesome, guys. So, like we said before, we want to talk about modern PC, because modern PCs are becoming so much more commonplace in the market.
As they should be. You know, we're in 2018, we're stepping forward into this new modern age, and I think, you know, even going back to question of the week about how we talked about how technology is revolutionising the way we do things, I think that we need to start focusing on the devices that really support that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So,
and when we look at you know, PCs, and particularly when we're actually training our field team, we kind of break it down into you know, your entry level, modern PCs, and premium devices.
Yeah.
So I think it would be really cool for us to kind of talk to you on that kind of level and differentiate what a modern PC actually is.
Yeah, so what is it that makes a modern PC?
There's so many things.
How do we classify that bracket?
So, it needs to have an SSD, a solid state drive. It needs to have at least 4 gig of RAM, preferably more, in our opinion.
Okay.
It needs to be touch and ink capable.
Absolutely.
Have at least 8 hours of battery life, so enough battery to last a whole day. It needs to have fast processing, lightweight, and a good screen.
Cool. So what, like, obviously we do really focus on not talking about speeds and feeds. While of course the components of a computer do make a great deal of how it does what it does and why it does what it does. You're making
I'm
a
just
mess,
causing a ruckus in the background.
knocking over a bottle. So why, for example, obviously solid state drives have been around for a little while now. But what are the benefits of having an SSD in comparison to an HDD, a hard disk drive?
Cool. There's two things, right? There's two things that are the key benefits. One is it saves you time, and it's so easy to show people how it saves you time. You know, doing a startup test. I'm sure most of you guys know what that is, but just in case, turning off a computer with a solid state drive, turning off a computer with an HDD, so a hard disk drive, which has been around even longer, and starting them both up. Start the HDD first and then start the SSD, because the SSD will be infinitely faster than the traditional HDD computer. And the other part is reliability. So there's a big no moving parts. Like those HDD computers, they have a little disk. That's why it's a hard disk drive. It moves around, at least in a computers nowadays, 5200 RPM. So it circles around
I'm learning new things, guys.
5200 times per minute.
That's crazy.
Imagine,
that's a lot.
Yeah, that would wear most things out, right?
Yeah.
So no moving parts, faster, saves you time. It's a great experience.
I think so too, and I think here in New Zealand especially, we very much have that if it's not broken, don't fix it kind of mentality. So I think sometimes, you know, really like a great open-ended question to kind of ask customers is, you know, what don't you like about your old computer that you have at home at the moment? And I think that can really help you pinpoint. And like the time it takes to turn on and battery life, I think are two really key things.
Pain points that everyone's had at some point.
Everyone has definitely had at some point. And I think focusing on kind of the positive side of that is like, hey, with a new modern device, it turns on super quick. Okay, it may not be like is ultra fast, like, you know, instant on the Surface laptop and stuff. But if you add up those few seconds faster over time, like imagine how much you're getting back in a year.
Huge time. And like, yeah, so you get a few seconds faster when it comes to opening apps and stuff for the most part.
Absolutely, yeah.
But you can literally save over a minute with startup.
That's crazy.
It's just crazy, right? It's absolutely crazy. You don't have to go make your bowl of porridge in the meantime anymore. You just sit there for a few seconds.
Yeah, and I think, of course, battery life is the next really big thing. I know I've told this story multiple times, but when I started using a Surface Pro 2 at university, it just revolutionised the way I did stuff, because I had a 15.6-inch Toshiba laptop. I loved it. I still have it. Still works. It's sitting in the bottom of my cupboard, because like every day I had to think to myself like, oh, do I really need to take my computer today? Because like it was that much heavier. I had to have it plugged into the wall and charging all the time. So, you know, just that opportunity to be able to take my device without a charger, a device that could fit in my handbag with the rest of my stuff. I think that was, like, for me, part of revolutionising how I use technology and how often I use technology as well.
Absolutely.
Which I think in this new modern way that we do things in the modern workplace and, you know, modern schools and all of that kind of thing, I think it should just be a standard now to have a thin, light, portable device with great battery life that's fast.
Yeah, and one thing like, I would really highlight is it doesn't actually matter as much as people think if you take it out of the house or not. Like even yesterday, right?
Good point.
I just, you know, I was watching my NFL videos on YouTube. I was on my hobby sites.
Yeah.
Figuring out models. Found some a great box set, by the way, which I want to get soon.
Okay, that's good. When we were in Shanghai, a relevant story incoming. But we had a couple of, we had like a free day.
Yeah.
To be fair, we had 2 free days. So the day we got there, like we didn't have anything until the evening. So we went out, we went to markets, and Fletcher just took me around stores to look at models.
I did.
He got real excited.
100%.
You were very apologetic, to be fair. Like I won't drop you in it that much. But just looking at like
Gundam was one thing.
Yeah. But our other day off we went to Disneyland, which was very much what I wanted to do. But totally irrelevant side story there. But cool having hobbies integrate into our lives. We know each other better now.
Absolutely, and like even I didn't want to be shackled down when I was at home by a charger. Right, I was sitting in my chair. I wasn't close to a power point. There's a chair where I sit to relax. Okay. I know it sounds weird, but you've
got your chair.
I've got my.
I feel like that's a very old man thing.
That's a very old man thing.
Like every granddad has their chair.
I will have a great chair when I have a granddad. So I was just chilling in my chair, and I didn't want to have to plug in a charger, and I didn't have to worry because I was watching on my Surface Book 2, so it lasted me the whole day easily.
Yeah.
Didn't need to charge it up. Was easy to carry around, to hand to Steph when she wanted to do a quick little bit of work as well. So like, it makes the home experience better. It doesn't always have to be about taking it out.
Yeah,
it's all
absolutely.
About making the,
Interestingly, I think that I may have dropped this in a podcast before, but I absolutely love the new season of Queer Eye on Netflix. It's so good. But as a part of the first makeover for Tom, I think his name's Tom, I'm going to clarify in a little caption, but him and his ex-wife Abby just got remarried thanks to the show. Beautiful story. Not what I was talking about, but as a part of his makeover, they replaced a big bulky desktop with a Surface Pro.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
cool.
super cool.
That's
and
awesome.
like just looking at the way that his space looked in his home and the way that he presented himself as a new modern man was something that the show focused on and like made a deal out of, which I thought was awesome. Of course,
that's so cool.
I love spotting surfaces and stuff in different shows and different modern PCs and how they're being used.
Totally irrelevant as well. I spotted a surface in Planet Earth 2.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
That's a David Attenborough animal documentary. Spotted a surface in there. Very
amazing.
happy.
If it's good enough for David Attenborough, it's good enough for me.
I was just like, this is the animal show, and I'm still spotting surfaces.
That's great. That's great. So many shows where it features heavily, and I think that this is like another great example of a modern PC, and the way that you can use it is in How to Get Away with Murder. Awesome series. I haven't seen season 3 yet, but like it's like a courtroom drama type thing, and someone like finds out new information on the fly and like busts into the courtroom and like runs to the front with her Surface like as a tablet and presents it, and it's just super cool,
funny.
right?
That's
like
cool.
You couldn't do that with like a good old like desktop in the library at your university. You know, just focusing on ways that technology is like adapting the way that we do things, and how powerful having like a modern form factor is. And I don't think we've talked about that. Have we?
No, that's what I was thinking as well. We're segueing in now into what a modern form
every
factor
irrelevant conversation leads to something relevant eventually, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got any skills, that's it.
And the bants, the bants that gets to business, the double Bs, bants in business. It's a new thing. Just came off it on the spot. But yeah, like there's multiple different form factors you can have a modern device in. So there's ones that you guys will be like, oh yeah, that makes sense, like an ultra slim traditional laptop style. You know, like your Acer Swifts and stuff like that.
Yeah. The HP Spectre.
HP Spectres, absolutely beautiful. Dell XPS, we could go on and on.
So many, and like I think as well. Sorry to interrupt you, but these are the kinds of like beautiful devices that I think that people naturally do gravitate towards.
Yeah.
Because they do
just look good.
They look good and they look different, right?
Yeah.
And I think that something I always have in my mind when I'm thinking about customers is the kind of device that they do have at home. Like we're seeing so many customers still using XP devices or Windows 7 devices. So we have talked a bit about, you know, making people feel comfortable on Windows 10. But, you know, things like touchscreen and inking is a totally new experience.
It is.
We did a training on Friday, and I was really guilty of, like, forgetting to show people how the Surface Book detached. Like, that's something that, you know, I've had the pleasure of doing since we got the Surface Book in New Zealand. And the fact that you push a button and it's like a software mechanism as well as a hardware mechanism.
Pretty cool.
Is amazing and awesome. But I'm so spoiled now that that's just a natural part of my life, being able to do those things, that we don't necessarily always think that that's brand new to someone, and that can be a feature alone that can just totally blow their mind.
I used it on inking on the weekend again for my house build. So we went to check out what the concrete around the house will look at, like with our driveway and the paths around the house. And I wanted them to extend our driveway to be a little bit longer as it goes around a corner. So I took a photo and I inked it up. I was like, I used an on-screen ruler, drew it across, did it in grey because concrete's grey, coloured it in, and then, you know, just did an arrow to the peg that I wanted them to extend it out to, and annotated it. I'm like, I want the concrete extended to this peg. So no one can misunderstand that, right? That's magic.
And I think, you know, just our good old motto, we're talking about too many different things, our good old motto of work smarter, not harder.
Absolutely.
And, you know, instead of having to like ring someone up and get them on site and explain it fully, and then, you know, that always leaves room for somebody to forget about it. Now you have that, like, you can send it in an email, you can have that as a paper trail, and that's just a great way to communicate.
Yeah, imagine me trying to describe it otherwise. I'd be like, you know, as the driveway goes around the corner, I want it to go further out, but not that corner, this corner.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 you know? Like,
even now I'm just like, I don't understand.
I don't understand, but it just made it so easy. And there's this, I guess we got around back to these form factors, but, you know, you can...
ultra slim.
Ultra slim.
Detachables.
Yeah.
So things like your Surface Book, your Surface Pro,
Your HP Spectre X2, your Asus Switch Alpha, your Lenovo Mix.
Yeah, all of those kinds of things. The convertibles as well, so if someone's wanting more of a rigid base kind of form factor, that traditional laptop style, but with that new pizzazz of a modern device, having those 360 hinges as well.
Absolutely, and I think one thing, modern devices, I think a lot of people have looked at them and thought, it's really hard for me to try get a customer to understand the value. But now it's so much easier, not just because of so many more features and so many more ways to use things like inking and touch, but also because the price is dropping, Pavilion X360s. Great price, and yes, they actually are modern devices. Those are slim now, they're very slim. A lot of the Dell Inspiron, like the 3000, that's thin as well. There's HP Envy, there's all sorts, Lenovo Yogas, it's not just the premium Yogas anymore, there's the 700s, there's so many devices out there, and they're all at great price points now,
Yeah, and that's what we love talking about with Windows, is the kinds of options that we can provide our customers with. There really is, in selling no one size fits all. Which is why we cater to so many different price points, so many different styles of devices.
Absolutely.
With our OEM partners as well. Kind of the doors, the windows that we can open. The windows we can open for our customers with Windows. And of course as well, there is the all-in-one PC that we haven't really talked about. For customers still wanting to, have maybe their traditional computing experience that they're familiar with. That's what they want.
I wanted to mention all-in-ones last because traditionally I don't think people think of all-in-ones as a modern device, but they're definitely getting there. You've got HP Envy, 34 inches and stuff, which
amazing
awesome.
curved screens.
Receptionists use the last generation at work here, so that's cool on its own. I've seen a lot of them getting, slimmer.
Surface Studio.
Surface Studio,
Like, that's a whole league of its own, really.
Absolutely.
And just these are amazing things that we can do with these amazing devices.
Yeah, 100%. And, at the end of the day, some customers will come in with a price point and maybe, because of their situation, they do have to go for an entry level. But if we can get them to, take a step up in the chain, as such, and purchase a modern device, they will have a better experience when they get home, and they will buy into the brand and buy into Microsoft.
Absolutely, and when as we said, like, you use technology so much for everything you do, so you expect it to be fast. And that's just kind of what you want out of a PC. There's nothing more frustrating than having to wait for something to load or wait for something to boot up. Because we live a privileged life now. Yeah,
and I know we're about to wrap this segment up, but I just want to say one more thing that I think is really important. There's people have technology with them every day, and one way they have that technology is on a phone.
Great point.
And people, will refresh their phone every year, every 2 years, and they'll spend $1,100 to $1,800 with the latest iPhone now.
Yeah, I think so.
On a phone quite happily.
And that's a great point.
PCs have people don't refresh them as much as a phone. A phone gets refreshed far more often, but if they invest a little bit more in their PC and have that better experience because of it, and it's a PC that lasts them longer and they won't replace as fast anyway. Isn't that going to be worth it to them? Like, can we not make that comparison? Yes, not everyone will use their PC in the same way as their phone. They are different devices at the end of the day. But if you're willing to invest and you understand investing in a better phone gives you a better experience,
and I think the frequency in which we use those two things kind of go hand in hand, right?
Absolutely.
And the kinds of experiences which you can have across devices as well. Shout out to the April update and some of the stuff we talked about last week, and all of the things you can do there. But yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. If you're spending that kind of money on a phone, why not spend it on getting a beautiful, shiny new modern device to match your lifestyle? Alright, we are going to talk about State of Decay 2, and I'm too excited for my own good because this is the first time that I can I feel adequately lead a gaming conversation. I'm inspired, guys. I'm inspired to be better and to become an actual gamer. I played this game for 40 minutes straight, which for me is like a world record because I am a self-proclaimed rage quitter. And I think for me, I often find that the reason for that is because games can be too confusing sometimes.
Yeah.
And that is straight up just down to me being impatient. When a story comes up to explain what's happening,
just means you haven't played enough of them.
I know. I'm getting... Yeah. My challenge to myself is to be better. I've invested in my Xbox One X Scorpio edition. I'm going to play games more often. With Game Pass, I've got the power to do this. With Game Pass, I got State of Decay 2 on launch day, which is awesome. You know, what's next? Crackdown 3 is coming.
Crackdown 3 is coming. That's super exciting. That's another big one that we've been looking forward to.
Absolutely. And I think largely to the success of Game Pass, State of Decay 2 has had over 2 million players.
It's crazy.
In its first week.
It's I think one of the biggest games in terms of people playing online. Ever, which is crazy. Like, and it's in that short amount of time.
Yeah, it came out on the 22nd, so that was now 6 days ago. Just madness, absolute madness.
I will tell you, Hannah.
Yes.
That, and I think there will be people out here who agree with me. You will develop what I call a gamer's instinct, and this might sound super random.
Okay.
And you know, like maps and stuff do get built where you end up following a certain path. But I thoroughly believe there's a gamer instinct out there that when you play enough games and you get used to them, you just know what to do and where to go.
I think you're right. And I think that's the thing. That, like, for example, the reason that after 40 minutes I stopped playing was because, like, you in State of Decay 2, like, you play as partners, so essentially, like, in your zombie attacks, you've got to keep each other safe.
Yeah.
But I was, like, exploring around, and I could hear my partner getting hacked to death by a zombie. And I just got, like, stuck. I was in a dark room where I had to have a torch on. Definitely, if you're a wuss like me, not a game I had to play. Like, it was the middle of the day on Sunday. Like, I had all the curtains open because I was warned about how, like, dark and terrifying it gets. But I had my torch on, and I was trying to navigate, like, a small room, and I just kept getting stuck walking into a table, and I could hear, like...
I just, like, I wish you, like, screen recorded it so we could all experience this.
See, well, this is why I'm so scared about the challenge of us playing together, because you're just going to be like, Hannah, I'm dying, you're not helping, you're not useful in this game. So I'm practicing on my own to be better so I can enjoy this new social element of gaming that we're having.
So, yeah, in that case, give me... I haven't played it very much yet. I've watched a lot about it.
I played it for 40 minutes.
I was waiting for Hannah to shout out and be like, I'm ready to play. I didn't want to go, you know, experience it on my own.
No,
I thought it was going to be an event together.
No, I'm practicing.
Can tell I'm a little bit cut. But give us an overview on the game.
Zombies is basically my overview of the game thus far. As we've realised, I'm very fresh to the gaming realm.
Yeah.
I'm learning to be better, and I need a hobby, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like, I'm one of those people are like, what do you enjoy doing? I'm like, I don't know, my job.
Yeah.
I go to concerts and that's about it. So gaming is going to be my new thing, which probably also translates into my job, and here we are. But a zombie apocalypse is essentially what I've got out of the game.
Have you ever played a zombie game before?
I have not, because I'm a wuss.
Okay.
I did give the mixed reality game Arizona Sunrise.
Oh, see, I haven't played
Sunrise
that
or Sunshine. Every time I get confused. Gonna correct myself once again in the caption below. But that game was far too scary for my liking. Because that mixed reality, like, I can only imagine, like, State of Decay 2 in mixed reality. Like, what's so terrifying about Arizona Sunrise, Sunshine, I wish I could correct myself right now. But, like, for that, the controls are quite confusing. Like, I felt like I was, like, just patting myself down and throwing my hands over, like I'm being very dramatic right now. But, you know, having to do all of that, as well as being terrified, like, when you've got headphones on, you can hear the sound, you can hear them, like, running up towards you, you can, you know, they come, like, physically coming at you from all angles. This was could not handle that. That was too much.
I really want to play it. I really want to play it.
It's very cool.
Just
But you've got Game Pass. Download State of Decay 2.
It's downloaded. Like I said, it's ready.
You were waiting for me.
Yeah, I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you to be like, cool, it's ready. I'm online. I'm good to go.
Okay, maybe tonight.
Let's do this. Yeah, maybe tonight.
You've got to ask Steph first.
Yeah, I do. I will have to.
We'll see how we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was having a lot of fun, and I think what I liked so much about this game, obviously not from extensive knowledge, but from as a person trying to get into games, is that the controls were all relatively straightforward.
Yeah.
And the point of the game was pretty straightforward.
Don't die.
Don't die, basically.
Yeah.
You're in a zombie apocalypse, don't die. And I think, like as I said, I think my downfall in games is the fact that I'm impatient. So if there's too many story parts along the way, I get bored and I skip through, and then I miss what's happened, and then I don't understand the point of it, and then I die, and then I throw the controller across the room.
Yeah.
No controllers have been thrown as yet. I'm very proud to report. But yeah, so I was stuck in this dark place with my torch, trying to navigate my way around. I could hear my buddy being hacked to death. It got a little bit gory, it got a little bit scary, so I promptly quit. So I did rage quit, but 40 minutes for me I think is excellent. I'm very proud of myself, and my goal is to be better. So if you guys have already started playing State of Decay 2, wow, my mouth is not working in saying those words today. But add us on Xbox Live. I can't believe I'm saying this. Look at me all of a sudden being real confident, being like, hello, I'm a gamer now.
We'll put
our be better.
IDs on the bottom.
Yeah, we'll put our IDs along the bottom. Henry X.
I've got to talk about State of Decay 2.
Okay, give us a proper bit of overview.
So I'm a huge fan of zombie games. Okay, I've done my research, and I will report back on next week's podcast on
should we play
how
it
my
on next
gameplay.
Week's podcast?
We should.
I've just overpromised. We'll instantly overpromised.
No, we can do it.
That's what we're gonna do. Oh dear.
So
I'm nervous already. I'm gonna that's all I'm doing for the rest of the week is going home and practicing my new gamer skills.
We'll do it.
Okay, wish me luck everyone.
Yeah, because I'm a big zombie game fan, I'm a big zombie movie fan. I love Resident Evil because you get the best of both there.
Are you a, what's the TV show?
No.
Walking Dead? Not a Walking Dead fan?
See,
anyone who is
very
a Walking
controversial.
Dead fan? Okay.
I hated the first few episodes, and that meant I never brought into it.
Okay, so yeah, I was all about it. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. But totally irrelevant, there is a great bad lip reading video.
Yeah.
Called Karl Popper, and it's a song from Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Not relevant to this podcast whatsoever, but if you like that show, even if you haven't seen that show, it's hilarious.
I'm going off topic before I get back to State of Decay 2 now. We're on it. I can accept that most zombie movies are stupid, right?
Yeah.
And they don't make a pretense at not being stupid, but when you pretend to be smart like Walking Dead, and then it ends up looking stupid like what I thought, then I'm not into it.
Okay.
I'm not into it.
Right.
And you guys can, I feel like I'm going to get a bit of blowback.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. Please no hate mails to my Xbox account.
Just my personal opinion.
But State of Decay 2, I'm super excited for. Like I say, I'm a big fan of zombie games. Left 4 Dead 2, oh my god. And I see a lot of the elements of those great zombie games coming in. You know, you don't just fight regular zombies. There's special zombies, ones that will jump on you, and ones like boomers. I'm gonna say there's a bit of, bit of taking some of the best parts there to make it even better. But yeah, it's a survival game where you build your shelter. Yep. You can choose your discipline, like being a nurse or. Like being like a coach, being a sharpshooter, all sorts of really cool things. You need to construct your shelter to hold out, and you need to make food. It's getting that survival down to a T, getting all those really, really cool extra elements. And I've heard that when you die, you die.
Yeah, that is like the very first thing that Mr. Matthew Reed said to me. He was just like, I said, I just want to have some time to practice before I start playing with other people. And he was just like, Hannah, when you're dead, you're dead. Like, there's no two ways about it. So that makes me incredibly nervous.
Yeah, it's you better have a nurse with you to look after you.
I know. I better cultivate my skills.
Yeah, we'll plan this. We'll plan. Yeah. We'll plan our
and that's why you
classes.
play with a friend.
Exactly. It's a game designed to be better when you play it with mates, right?
Absolutely.
I think it's up to 4-player co-op online. I'm 100% sure, actually. I know that for a fact. So 4-player co-op online, big open maps, you know, scavenging for things.
Yeah.
Getting the right classes to complement each other.
Yeah.
I'm excited. And we will get some gameplay video next week.
Yeah, and I'm excited too.
Yeah.
Which, like, can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm here. I'm here now in the gaming universe.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited about it. And I think as well, I know I've shouted out to Game Pass, but I'm going to shout it out again. And I think that for both hardcore gamers and people who are like super into it and they want all these new releases and stuff.
So good.
But for people like me as well, like I would love, obviously, like as a part of my job, talking about these games and learning about what's coming and what's next, having the opportunity to play it. But because currently my new gaming record is 40 minutes at one time, I'm just not going to spend $100 on a new game. I can't afford that. I can't justify that. But now with Game Pass, $10.95 a month to get all Microsoft exclusive titles on launch day is amazing. Plus over 100 other games. So I've got some awesome stuff.
Pretty cool.
Like I just opened up my new Xbox and just put in my Game Pass code and off I went downloading some super cool content. I
need to take the time to format a hard drive personally and stick it in. But I cleared my game library and just downloaded new ones from Game Pass. I've got such a backlog of games now that I want to play. I'm looking forward to it. Super exciting.
Like I went in because obviously I went purely for the nostalgia games that I knew that I could play.
Yeah.
I got a Pac-Man game. I got a Sonic game. There's a couple of Sonic games. But a game that I did download last night, which I'm really looking forward to playing as well, just based on my skill level as a gamer, is Super Lucky's Tale.
Okay,
which I've seen lots of videos for and got really excited about. So yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on how I'm going with my newfound hobby of being a gamer, and we'll see how we go. We'll see how we go.
Definitely.
But in talking about gaming, Fletch, I do want to lead on to something else incredible.
We're just going to dive straight in.
And awesome. And
cool.
I don't think, we'll do our best to talk about it, but I don't think we can quite do the value of this justice.
I honestly don't think we can do it justice, but we will do as best as we can. Yeah,
so to introduce the new Xbox Adaptive Controller, we're going to drop a video in now to show how this is helping people in their day-to-day lives.
At Xbox, we have a controller design that our fans love. However, for gamers with limited mobility or gamers who don't use both their hands, this controller design might not work best for them.
I pushed you out of the way, I'm sorry. Doorknobs are the worst thing ever invented. Putting on shoes, the cell phones that I use, these are the sorts of things that we don't think about until we have to. And I think about them every day.
Yeah! I have cerebral palsy on my entire right side. This side of the controller is fine. This side doesn't happen. As game platforms have gotten more sophisticated, the controllers have gotten more sophisticated, and it started to get really frustrating.
We designed the Xbox Adaptive Controller through feedback from the accessibility community.
The Xbox Adaptive Controller is really easy. You just plug it in, and then you can plug in various other devices. I can make it work for me the way it has to.
With the Xbox Adaptive Controller, a gamer can game with one hand and one foot, or one hand and their shoulder, or even one foot and their chin.
And I can change it from game to game.
Good, ready? Forward, squeeze tall, there it is.
Craig Hospital is a facility for patients who've either had a spinal cord injury or a traumatic brain injury, and it's a place for their rehab.
Yes! We're here for game night, and we're helping new patients getting back into gaming again. Is that the D-pad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Our role as occupational therapists is to get people back to doing. When the Xbox Adaptive Controller came along, it acted like an Xbox controller and it just worked.
Uh-oh, over there.
Ooh! On the standard Xbox controller, it's just hard to press the buttons because can't really put pressure through my hands. But then with the adaptive controller, I can use like larger joysticks, larger buttons that are easier to press and reach.
Corey and his brother Zachary are twins, Before Corey's injury, Zachary had gamed with him regularly, and that was the way that they related to each other as siblings.
Who do you love playing Xbox with here at Craig Hospital?
Zach.
The Xbox Adaptive Controller and the co-pilot feature allowed them again to play games together. So there's a huge social component to it.
You got that? Yes, yes. They can play any game that they want. I see the confidence just burst out of them.
What a video.
What a video. I think that's our introduction.
Yeah,
every time we get back.
It always hits us in the feels. It always makes it super relatable.
Yeah.
And kind of, these videos are great because, to be honest, like, I don't have problems playing with an Xbox controller, right? So it helps us understand ways that it can be used. It helps us see ways it can be used, the ways it impacts other people's lives. It's
Absolutely.
super cool.
And I'm lucky enough, the guy Solomon in the video, I actually got to meet him last year at a training event.
Wow.
He came in and he did a session on accessibility, and I'm not kidding, obviously I'm an emotional person, but I cried.
Yeah.
I just sat there bawling my eyes out. Solomon was born without any fingers on one of his hands. That was just how he was born. So he's lived his whole life like that. Like, I laughed in the video where he just said, like, doorknobs. Like, who did that? Like, that just sucks. But he really talked from that personal experience of both how technology has been challenging for him, but how it's helped him overcome so much. So seeing him in a video, someone I've met, like, that's super cool.
I didn't know that until right now. That's
super
awesome.
cool. And just really inspiring to watch. You know, they talk in the video about how being able to use this and being able, there were two brothers in the video who used to game together, and then one of them had a tragic accident and is now left disabled. And him being able to play games with his brother again, just bringing that confidence back into their lives, letting them do something that they've you know, either previously done before or have never been able to do before. I think that that's incredible, and all of the work that went into building this adaptive controller is crazy.
Making it suitable for people with all sorts of different disabilities, right? We saw people like Solomon who were born with no fingers. We saw people with cerebral palsy, but only in half of their body. Being able to see how it can adapt to everything like that just helps show how powerful a tool it is. Like, I haven't seen one of these controllers in person, but you can absolutely find it on the Microsoft website online and have a look. When you do, you'll see, it has those big buttons, so it's easier for people to push. But a big part of it is how it can connect to other devices, so like the joystick, and how you can program it so easily to for whatever you plug in to substitute for that part.
To work with what works with you.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that while having the controller itself is super awesome, there are so many inserts.
It's crazy.
Like, crazy. I didn't even know that all of those things necessarily existed.
I think we'll stick a photo up. On this podcast,
just
you can get a good view.
Behind us there is the examples of kind of the things that can go into it and the thought process behind it. You know, the good old joystick, the current Xbox controllers we have, even like there's a foot switch
like arcade
for it
buttons as well.
Yeah, I think, like, I'm so amazed and proud.
Yeah.
Like, I think, and we've talked about it a lot in talking about accessibility, but the fact that this is such a huge focus for one of the largest companies in the world is incredible. And I think that Microsoft are doing an amazing job at taking this stuff seriously, and not from what I would consider, I guess, an insulting point of view. They're hiring these people to help people like them. There's an amazing autism hiring program within Microsoft. There are some awesome videos online about that as well. But, you know, the way that they interview people with autism is different to the way they would interview other people, because that's what's best going to allow them to shine. And the way that they think isn't the way that I think. And that comes into play with any kind of different person that you interact with. But I think I'm just so passionate and so proud that everybody is now being given more of an equal chance at all of these things. you know, both in the hiring process that I just mentioned, but in the accessibility features within Windows, and things like this awesome new adaptive controller, and some of the amazing external projects that Microsoft have as well, like Project Emma and Team Gleason and what they're doing with Steve Gleason for ALS and all of those sorts of stuff that we've talked about on other podcasts. It blows my mind and gives me the warm fuzzies.
And we talk a lot, you've heard this line before, but focusing on people's abilities rather than their disabilities. With something like this and something like mixed reality, I think it's extra valuable because it does give people a chance to try things that they wouldn't be able to in any other format. Like we've talked about, you know, being able to experience the ski slopes with mixed reality. It's the same with gaming. You can go and you know, people do use it as an escape to go have some fun, to relax, to try something new, and that's absolutely awesome that we've got another tool that enables that to happen.
Absolutely, and I just think now, you know, we're in 2018 and we're just really pushing that definition of what is normal. Yeah. Because no one's normal.
Clearly not this model making UFL watching person over here.
But you know, this newfound gamer, previous emo kid who, like, you know, I just think that that's amazing that we're really focusing on being inclusive, and pushing that boundary of what normal is and starting to cater to what everybody's individual normal is. I think that it's amazing, I think that it's exciting, and I think that we're going to talk about it on many, many more podcasts to come.
Absolutely. Awesome. What a great podcast.
Great podcast. As always, we have so much fun filming these. Bit of a different environment today. We are sitting on the floor.
I've loved this environment, as uncomfortable as it is.
Down our favourite room in the building.
Yeah, we've got a stealthy coffee table to make it look like we're sitting on chairs, but we are absolutely
we are not. We're on the floor. My foot is very numb. You know, like when you've got a dead leg and you stand up and you're just terrified that you're going to fall over.
I know that feeling. Exactly.
I've got to walk upstairs to get back to my desk. I'm concerned. I'm concerned. You're going to have to just maybe give me a couple of minutes. Yeah, I reckon. So as always, we want to hear from you guys. Do you want to see us play State of Decay 2? I feel like I've overpromised. I'm so nervous.
Absolutely, and it's going to happen, and we're very excited. And we've recorded it in enough places on this podcast that Hannah cannot edit it out.
I can't. Wish me luck. I'm gonna be going home and practicing all week to get my gamer chops out. It's gonna be a good one. For week number 10 of the podcast. Next week we're entering into double digits, which is very, very
That's
exciting.
Awesome. It's like a coming of age for the podcast.
A coming of age. I feel like now that we've said that, it's almost like an anniversary edition of the podcast.
10th anniversary edition.
10th anniversary of the weeks.
Yeah.
But we'll make it a special one.
We will.
I'm over-promising left, right and centre here, but
I think the fact that we're going to have some State of Decay 2 recording is pretty special.
It's pretty special in itself.
But as always, we want to hear from you guys as well.
What do you guys want to see on this 10th week anniversary edition of the podcast we've got coming up? As always, we extend the question of the week to you, which was, what aspects of technology could you not live without? Pretty broad question.
It is.
But we want any of your answers. It doesn't even have to be close to the same wavelength we went on. It doesn't necessarily even have to be just Microsoft related. We use technology, as I think we've probably said many times in this podcast and podcasts before.
Maybe you can't do without your sewing needles when you're doing some cross stitch.
Maybe not.
Yeah, all of that is technology.
We're using technology all day, every day, for everything that we do. And how has that revolutionised the way that you live your life and the things you do and the way that you do them? We'd absolutely love to hear, because a lot of your comments are inspiration for what we're going to talk about next.
Absolutely. So let us know what you want to see us do in State of Decay 2. Tell us about your thoughts on the adaptive Xbox controller. Answer that question of the week. And as always, we'll see you next time.
See you next week. 10th week birthday edition.